Y'all, Foodie Nation, we have a big surprise for y'all today. We have Chef Dev all the way. He's here in Trinidad and he's going to be making some quintessential Guyanese recipes. We get any real thing.
These are the things I grew up on, man, and the things that like make me tick.
Oh,
so I'm
yeah.
happy to be sharing them with you here today.
Well, the smell is amazing.
Next
We're
level.
plating up. Y'all are going to see it. All right, Dev, first step. What are we doing?
Let's sear the meat.
Lovely. So high heat.
Yeah, medium to high. We want to get a
Medium to
nice
high?
golden brown color. We want to
Okay.
intensify the flavor of this meat.
Got it.
So neutral flavored oil. Bro, this spot's hot, man. This spot's hot. So when this happens, sometimes it's a little bit hot here. What I can do is just take this off the heat, just
Yeah,
like
so let it
this,
cool
and
down
be
a
like,
little
yeah,
bit.
let it cool down.
Yeah.
And what I'm gonna get you to do, we're cooking real fire here, right? What I'm gonna get you to do is to cool down the temperature of this. Let's start getting the meat inside.
Yeah? When I'm doing this, I like to use my hands and get it in.
Yeah, I like that, bro.
Let's stir it out.
I like that. So pot is nice and hot. We're gonna get a nice sear and intensify the flavor. A little caramelizing, right?
Yeah.
Talking about.
You want to tell them what we did with the pot before?
So with the cow heel, what we do is we blanch it in some salted water. You can add some vinegar too. This will remove some of the impurities, take out a bit of the rank. In Guyana, they love that word. I don't know about here.
Rank.
Rank.
Yeah.
It's a very popular word. Nobody wants rank, right?
Yeah.
So that'll help clean it a little bit. So we're already getting some nice color.
You
know?
right now.
And look at the caramelization already. Nice hot pan. So I don't want it to burn. I'll move it around. I'm gonna get you to add some salt and pepper.
So this is the song you want to be hearing.
If you don't hear this, then you gotta start back. Because they're steaming the meat, boiling the meat at that point if it's not hot enough. Like show salt, no?
Yes, sir.
Show salt, man.
One thing I have to do is take instructions.
Yeah, good. I would even shake it out, but that's good. Because
Yeah.
we have a lot of meat in there, right?
Yeah.
I like seasoning heavy at the beginning, and then we can adjust as we go on. Now, this is not a typical authentic step, but we're gonna throw some of the aromatics in that are inevitably gonna join us later, just to flavor up that meat a bit more.
yeah.
So a little bit of cinnamon. Can you please add a little bit of star anise?
A little bit what? 2 or 3?
Two. Star anise, very polarizing, right? And if you add too much, it's bad news. And put, 6, 7 cloves. We're gonna add more of this, but this is just to give this initial sear a lot of flavor. And you see, like, look at this color that we're getting on this.
Oh yeah.
Really deep, dark, golden brown, right?
So to the spices too, my thinking is you want to give it as much time as possible. So you need to flavor, build, marry with the meat.
That we're all about layering flavors, and that's what pepper pot is all about. Is really building from the ground up. And this is not something that we typically want to eat today. We will today, but this is best tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like lasagna, like
Pilau.
same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Tomorrow is going to be better. So in Guyana, right? In my household, if we're eating Christmas morning pepper pot, we're making it 22nd, 23rd of December.
Yeah.
And then it sits on the stove. The Cassareep, which we'll talk about, has some antiseptic properties, which allows it to kind of act as a preservative. And then it sits on the stove, and if you walk by, you can turn it on, bring it to a simmer, and shut it off. And then it keeps intensifying, concentrating.
Crazy. So this is a usual Christmas time dish.
This is Christmas time, bro. And I know you see some of the stuff I do, but like I do pepper pot burgers, pepper pot ramen, much to the disgust of some older Guyanese people. But I will not stop innovating and showcasing and modernizing, because at the end of the day, I'm bringing more attention to the cuisine.
Yeah, and that's how you create new stuff.
That's how you create new stuff. And I use what I learned from traveling the world and my culinary experiences. But to answer your question, pepper pot for me is Jan to December, bro. But there's a lot of people, if it's not December, you have no business making it.
Really?
But bro, something that tastes so damn good that like makes people's knees weak. How can you not enjoy this in Feb or August, you know?
Yeah.
So that's my thing.
Y'all let us know in the comments, the Guyanese family. Do y'all only eat this Christmas time, or is it a year-round thing like that one?
So like these pieces that are not getting a lot of color, I'll just press these to the bottom.
Yeah.
But we have some nice caramelization happening. So this is gonna be good, man.
So with this part of it, Devon, right?
Yeah.
A lot of typical questions you get is time. But could you really attach a time to how long this process is going to take?
We want to get it nice and golden brown, but you don't want to over-sear the meat and dry it out. When we sear it, those muscle fibers contract, and we don't want to make this thing like rubber.
Yeah.
Right? So I would say once you have a nice golden brown color, we're pretty good. Let's get some of the cow heel, the gelatinous And the cow heel's so important, bro.
Yeah.
That's the lip-smacking unctuousness, fattiness, like
Oh,
glaze
yeah.
your lips.
Oh, yeah.
Make you want to kiss
Yeah,
somebody.
that gelatinous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really what pepper pot is all about.
Yeah.
But a lot of Guyanese won't use cow heel. A lot of Guyanese, like I didn't grow up in a household with beef. So my mother would see this and shake her head. But she also knows I eat anything. I was just eating tarantula in Cambodia, right? So she's seen it all.
Yeah.
So this is just about ready. We can get this
Right.
out and we'll get our onions and garlic going.
Right. So no time, you're more cooking with your eyes here. You're looking for the right color.
Yeah, we have pieces that are nice and golden brown. And I think this is good for this first step.
Yeah.
If I was cooking in a restaurant or catering or something like that, I'd probably sear everything individually.
Yeah.
But there's so much flavor in here, and really what we want from here is that fond on the bottom, which we're gonna deglaze with the onions, garlic, and our liquid.
Right.
So that flavor's in here. You can smell it. I can smell it.
So while this is searing up, what we want to do, we want to crush the garlic.
The first thing that'll go in is some onions. Onions also not super traditional in pepper pots. Sometimes I use onions and people cuss.
Yeah.
But for me,
Yeah.
they're such a
You're trying
fundamental.
to be with the cuss us too or what? Let them cuss you alone, though.
They'll cuss me, bro. Yeah. Chef Dev Nation. Right? So let's get some onions in here.
Yeah?
They're a fundamental building block for a lot of dishes I do, and I know you as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we'll chop up, and I wouldn't worry too much about how fine it is because this cooks so long it'll melt.
Yeah.
But you'll chip that up. I'll keep stirring here.
The onion is flavor.
Bro, man.
Onion is flavor.
It's flavor, it's sugar. There's so much sugar, inherent sweetness in this, and it'll also contribute to the body of the finished product as it melts. So it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. So we've been talking about how to cook pepper pot, but for persons who watching who may not know, what is pepper pot and like what does it mean to Guyanese people?
So pepper pot is an Amerindian dish, okay, from the indigenous people of Guyana, and this is our national dish. So it's a meat-based stew, and it has beautiful aromatics. I mean, one of the reasons why it works with Christmas so well is that it has those festive spices of cinnamon, clove, star anise, etc. Like if you're in Guyana Christmas time or you go to a family member's house, as the door opens to the place, or if you're down on the road, you get a whiff of this cassareep and all that good stuff. So yeah, you use different types of meat for it. This is a fairly traditional one because we have that cow heel in there. But if you want to use chicken, goat, you don't see duck too often. You see lamb. If you want to use those cuts, then I mean, I even in my cookbook have a vegan pepper pot.
Yeah.
People were pissed, bro. But my mom's vegetarian. Are you telling me she can't have access to Guyana's national dish? So I do it with really meaty mushrooms and jackfruit, very meaty vegetables, and you treat it the same way.
Right.
It just cooks for a lot less longer.
So with the meat, right? So is it that it's just more of a what you have available to you?
I always promote that. You know,
Yeah.
with this cookbook that I have, there's a lot of ingredients like wiri pepper or like kasuri methi, fenugreek leaves, things that you may not have access to. But I don't want anyone to ever be handcuffed to the recipe.
Yeah.
Use what's in the back of your produce drawer at home, or use what's readily available at your local market. Make it work. Make it happen. There's no rules, man.
Yeah, we always tell people recipes are a guide. You know, it's not you have to stick to it, you know what I mean? It's not a scientific thing. You just make it work for you, just as you said.
That's it, buddy.
How much onions we want to do? All
That's good.
That's good?
That's good.
Alright. Alright, so we're taking out the meat now.
The best facial.
Yeah. Why are we taking out the meat?
I want to let the onions caramelize, and they won't with all this at the base. I also want to pick up this beautiful fond. Bro, when we're cooking, the fond is everything. You know, this classical French technique, like all the flavor is here.
Oh, yeah.
This is everything. And we need to deglaze. You know, in French, déglacer, you know, culinary term for you. So that's all the flavor. And then the onions will release some moisture and we'll scrape up all that goodness. This is Flavor Town. This is what you can't skip. You can't buy this in the grocery store. Fond. F-O-N-D, fond, right? So boom, back on.
So we're going straight in with the onions.
Do the thing.
What you want to do with the garlic? We want to be crushing and adding one time. We waiting. What are we doing?
Let's get the onions, get a little bit of color, scrape up the goodness, and we can introduce the garlic in a moment.
Got it.
Yeah.
How's that looking? You want some more?
I think that's good, bro. I don't want to get cost too much, you know? So we're getting a lot of color here, right? I'm just going to add some water. And scrape up all that fond. You'll see how it releases itself really easily now. And this is Flavor Town. Amazing. So everything that was on the bottom,
Oh, yeah.
you see now, it's all just sitting there, and this is flavor.
Yeah. We won that.
This is concentrated stock. It's Maillard reaction, heavily caramelized. Sugars are caramelized.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's crazy how good it smells already, and it's just been meat, salt, and pepper.
It's also the cinnamon, star anise, and cloves
Yes.
in there
Oh
too.
my
So that
God.
as well. But all that fat, all that oxtail fat, cow heel, all that good stuff is there. Love to see it. This is your first time making pepper pot?
Yeah.
Have you had it before?
No.
Oh
No.
my god. I know we tried to do it last year,
Yeah.
you know, but
But I was waiting on you.
bro, at this rate I'm coming every year. So we mix in the garlic a little bit. Now so we can be a little bit efficient, let's go and reintroduce some of those same aromatics that we had before. So we have
So
some
we added
cinnamon.
more.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
when you're eating pepper pot, there's cloves and cinnamon sticks floating around.
Yeah.
Without question.
Okay.
So I'd add
How much?
add a few. Yeah, add a
We
few.
have 5 in here.
Like throw the thing now. Yeah. Cloves.
Stonies.
Add in add in the same amount, 5, 6. We don't want to overpower with these, but the cinnamon is a little bit more forgiving in my experience.
Okay.
Let's do another 1 star anise.
One.
I also I have a couple ingredients that need to go in there. Can I grab that box?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
So this is
Here, bring our shoe from
this is a pair of shoes. Okay. So these are for you. Go ahead, open this up.
This is a size what? What is this?
This is a size 12 Plat bread. Okay, so this traditional Guyanese weaved
Oh, wow.
Plat bread. This is in my cookbook too. I mean, I've done it on YouTube.
Right,
Really
so if
nice.
you don't want to buy one, persons can make this yourself.
Absolutely, man. But you have a Plat bread here too, you said, right?
Yeah, but it's different.
It's
First
different.
time I'm seeing
This is very
Guyanese-
traditional. It's also
Guyanese plat bread.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm seeing 2 plats. The entire loaf is plat, and then they drop a plat on top of it.
Yeah, so we have the 3 strands at the base, and then you do another mini one. So you pull out a little ball from your main dough,
Yeah.
and then you do another weave.
Wow.
3 thin strings, yeah, plat on plat.
Wow. So if you had to describe the taste of this, like a similarity,
It's close to a brioche, but
Okay,
it doesn't take
okay.
as long to proof.
okay.
You want to just tear it in half? And
Nah, just now. When it's time
yeah.
to eat,
I brought
we'll
2.
talk about our
I brought
taste.
2. Okay, done.
Yeah, yeah.
We also need some of this. This is married man poke. So in Guyana, this is basically basil and wild thyme.
Mary man poke.
That's what they call wild basil over there.
Okay.
I'd love to give you the history on that, but I
Yeah.
can't.
All right. So we're going with some
So
of this.
tear some of that in there. And we have, and you're gonna like you would with fenugreek leaves, you'll bruise it between your hands before it goes in.
Okay. More? Or are we good?
I would say about 3 times that amount, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And rub it in between your hands to release the essential oils and aromatics, just like fenugreek leaves, which I cook with a lot, yeah. And then smell your hands.
Wow.
Gangster, bro.
Oh my god.
So good.
A little more in there.
It's amazing. You can just tell what kind of flavor this adds to the end product.
The amount of flavor that's going into this dish.
And you know, Sean, the cool thing I like about pepper pot is I make it for a lot of people who are not Guyanese.
Yeah.
And every time someone tries pepper pot, it's so unique to them. And then we're gonna talk about what makes it really unique. We have worry peppers here. So these are about 100 to 150,000 on the Scoville scale.
Yeah.
Scoville scale measures the amount of capsaicin or that active ingredient in peppers that make it burn, right? So we
Yeah.
have, it's less than a Scotch bonnet, it's less than a habanero,
Yeah.
it's more than a jalapeno.
That was my next question.
Yeah, more than a jalapeno, but mad flavor. And this is all over Guyana.
More flavor than heat.
I do the Weary Pepper Challenge. So I take these, like if you follow me, you know I eat these all over the world. So would you like to do one with me?
Sure.
You go
sure.
punish a little bit.
I'm not a pepper person, but I'll taste it with you.
So take that small
Yeah, give
one
me a
there.
Small one.
Take that small one there. I always
You're
do.
looking for a big one?
No, looking for just a little bit. Yeah, I'll do this one with you. Okay, good. So this is the Weary Pepper Challenge here with Foodie Nation, TNT. And yeah, this is just to bring more awareness to Guyana and our cuisine and culture. And it's an honor and privilege to do this with you.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, salute.
Yeah. So I'm just eating the whole thing.
Let me do the thing. Very fruity, very aromatic. It's got a really nice heat to it. Comes up on the back end.
Oh yeah.
I eat a lot of pepper. Yeah, you'll be okay.
It's not bad though. I do eat pepper. So I'm tolerating it fairly well, I think.
You're doing very well, bro.
Tons of flavor.
I'm very proud of you.
Woo!
We're getting a little bit too much color on that side,
yeah.
so put that in.
I'm getting hiccups now.
It's nice, eh?
Tons of flavor.
Tons of flavor, yeah, that's what's really important.
More flavor than heat.
So these things I eat, whenever I travel, I bring them with me and I eat. We are now at a stage where we are going to start running out of liquid really soon. So what we're going to do is we're going to now reintroduce our meat back into the party. Do you want to do that for me?
Yeah.
Here you go. And you mentioned it before, there's so much flavor in here, right? And now we give this a good mix up. This is Cassareep. In Guyana we pronounce it Cassareep, right?
Cassareep.
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 Like it's CA, but it's a CY. It's Cassareep.
Cassareep.
Cassareep, though. I think there's a seed in the back of my throat, bro. You watch, getting a little sweaty now. Very unique ingredient. You can't make pepper pot without this. The Amerindians discovered this. You seen Hot Ones?
Yeah.
This is like Hot Ones, where you like on Hot Sauce 8 you have the bomb, and then you get like a really tricky question, and you have to talk through it.
Yeah. Let me hold it for you.
So we have Cassareep here. Amerindians discovered by taking bitter cassava, peeling and grating it, and then they use what's called a matapede. It's like a woven strainer, like a Chinese finger trap.
Yeah.
Imagine Chinese finger trap when you pull, that extracts this milky liquid. There are cyanide properties in it. If you ingest it, you can die.
Yeah.
So they reduce it over a very long period of time. Sometimes they'll add sugar and different spices to it, like cinnamon and clove. And then you get this thick, viscous, burnt caramel, molasses-like substance that goes in.
Yeah.
And this is also a preservative. This is why pepper pot doesn't go into the fridge. But you can't make pepper pot without this. And this is the key ingredient. You can see how sticky it is too. How you holding up on the pepper?
Good.
I'm very proud of you, bro.
Not too bad.
I'm very proud.
Not too bad.
There's a little one, but still a lot of people can't do that.
So this is like the Trini version of how we make brown sugar molasses. But I would say this has a lot more flavor. Just by smelling it, like I smell so much more than that caramelized burnt sugar smell.
You're also gonna get the bitter cassava, which is very earthy and starchy.
Yeah.
And that lends it a very unique flavor.
Yeah.
It's typically a little bit on the bitter, smoky side. And we're also gonna add some brown sugar. So look how this is bubbling up now.
Plus I noticed how much you added.
Yeah,
So that
exact
is the
measurement.
normal amount?
Well, I make this so much, bro. I just know what to do. But I want to make sure that I get a really nice color.
Yeah.
Pepper pot's nice when it's really nice and dark, and that comes from like day 2 and 3. But we want to make sure that it's really, really well coated, because we're gonna add water and it's gonna dilute the color. It's gonna lighten the color.
Yeah, the interesting thing to me is that this is added after we sear the meat. Like we didn't use it, like how we make stew chicken, peel out, that we actually use the molasses to add color to the meat. We're almost adding color twice. Searing it and then adding cassareep.
I've seen people marinate the meat in cassareep, but for me that prevents the sear on the meat. This is already thick, reduced. Like you do the burnt caramel process in the pan.
Yeah.
This is already thick, viscous, reduced. So I don't want to repeat that step and burn it.
Yeah.
I can add it now, and look at how it's bubbling and caramelizing on the bottom. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is class.
So how we doing it here? This is the I don't want to say traditional, but this is the typical way and time to add cassareep.
We're gonna have to find out in the comments what you think.
Yeah, y'all let us know.
Okay, but for me, I shouldn't catch too many blows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Let's add some worry peppers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna chop
Chopping it
some
up.
up here. These guys are, as you know, a little bit spicy, but not too spicy.
The rest of this cassareep is for me, right?
Yeah,
You're
that's
not
a gift.
taking this-
That's a gift to you,
You're not
man.
allowed to take this back to Guyana.
This is all gonna melt. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 2 in here, and then
That's it?
Yeah, you know why? Because we're gonna add in another handful, but we don't want them to burst. Yeah.
Wow.
In my household, my dad doesn't eat super spicy anymore. So what we do is we let them float on top, and then you can bust it in your portion when you want it, right? I'm gonna get you to take special care to that right side, and I think we can also just.
Oh, we can rotate, yeah.
Yeah. Thing hot fire. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
This is what happens when you're cooking outdoors. We're not cooking on a stove where the heat is set, and you know what I mean. We're cooking outdoors.
It's my favorite way to cook. It's very primal. We're very connected to nature. That's why when you said we're shooting outdoors, I was like, brother.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's unreal.
There's your still cover shot.
So if I had to like put or attach one, I'll say like earthy, very earthy, very deep smells.
There's a lot of character, a lot of depth, but you nailed it on the head. It's very earthy.
Bro.
There's some floral notes in here as well from some of the spices and the pepper.
Yeah.
And that pepper has subsided and you're just
Oh
kind of
yeah,
left with the
oh yeah.
flavor.
The heat, so it's been what, 5 minutes now?
Yeah.
Yeah, the heat is gone. It's all flavor though.
That's it, man.
A lot of flavor. So
One
good in my
one
mouth.
thing, bro, that's important to mention is the quality of the Cassareep. There's a lot of people out there that might be like Pomeroon is an area of Guyana where a lot of the Cassareep comes from, and a lot of people will say this is Pomeroon, but it's a bit of a buzzword these days. You just got to be careful. Get it from somewhere reputable. This is very reputable, and sometimes people will add molasses and burnt sugar to it to stretch the yield because you got to think a cassava is so dense. How much liquid are you milking out of one bitter cassava? Not a lot. Then you have to reduce it from this much to this much.
Yeah.
So it's easy to just cut it with molasses and different things. So. High
So what are
quality
the key
Cassareep.
signs to look for?
You want something that is from a reputable place. When you taste it, it should have some bitter notes. It should be really nice and thick. It should have some golden hues to it as well. And it should be just really flavorful and really authentic. Anyone can put a label on the bottle. Get it from a reputable place or a reputable brand if you're back home in Canada, the US or something like that. Let's come in with some brown sugar now. I don't want too much, but I just want to bring some sweetness because this is very bitter. We can always add, we can't take away. I don't even need to mix this in. Let's come in with the water.
We're going with, well anyways, I'll
tell you what
you
to stop. Yeah. You're good there. Beautiful. So we want just everything barely submerged. We want to reduce our heat now. We can put a lid on. This needs to go for a good few hours, bro.
Okay.
You know, 2 to 3 hours. We want
so
this
we
to be
just
nice
want
and
this
tender.
to simmer 2 to 3 hours.
We want to braise the meat and break it down so it's really nice and tender. I can't stress enough that this is really meant to be eaten tomorrow, the day after.
Yeah.
But it's not unheard of to make pepper pot and eat it the same day.
Yeah.
We'll catch some blows in the comments.
Yeah. Rhett and I can't wait. All right, we'll take the blame. We can't wait till tomorrow.
But we're not going to finish this, so you'll have a batch for tomorrow, and you'll see how much overnight it marries
You
together.
sure we not going to finish this?
We might. We might. No, we have something else we're cooking. We have something else filling that we're cooking. So, little gentle simmer. We'll put the lid on this, and we'll come back and check this in a minute. We'll enjoy the scenery in the meantime.
Lovely. Let's show the people.
Yeah, so we were commenting before about just nothing smells like this. This is boiling a little bit too aggressively for me.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is gonna put this on a lower flame, but this is what we're looking for. We wanna see all of our meat submerged. I want a little bit less of a boil, but you see how the bubbles are big? This indicates to me that this is gonna be really thick and collagen-y and gelatiny when it's done with these big bubbles. We may have to add more water, but this is a little bit of touch and feel.
Yeah.
You know, if it reduces down too low, we'll add some more water to it, but this needs to cook for another couple hours on a lower flame.
All right, cool. So we're lowering it down now. We want to bring it down to a lower, not a simmer, something a little higher than a simmer, you'll say?
We want a very gentle boil.
Gentle
Not
boil.
a rolling boil.
Okay.
And you see the cinnamon cloves and the wori pepper floating. This almost looks like green seasoning.
Yes.
But you get that vibe from the basil, the married mampoke, and the thyme that we added. Star anise is floating here.
Yeah.
You know, cow heel is just flavor central, bro.
So here in Trinidad, people love to turn pot. How often are you checking this? And do you need to turn and...
As necessary. I think it's important to get whatever's at the bottom onto the top and move it around.
Okay.
I would say keep an eye on it on a low boil, maybe every 7 to 10 minutes. You can walk by and give it a shift. If it's at a lower, if it remains at this boil in an hour, we are effed.
Okay.
In 45 minutes, we are effed. Right? We're in big problems. So keep an eye on this, low flame. You know, stir it as necessary. This all has to break down.
Yeah.
This has to slide right off this cow heel, so it's still got a long ways to go.
Yeah, we want that cow to melt and
Correct, sir.
thicken that sauce.
Correct.
Okay, perfect.
Correct.
Yeah, and for the recipe, y'all know we typically share the recipes, but this is Devan's recipe. You could get it right in his cookbook. Pepper pot, right in the meat section, Dev. So where could people get the cookbook?
If you're in Canada, I'll ship it to you signed. I mean, I've done pop-ups for this. I'll be doing them here in Trinidad. I've done Guyana, Massachusetts, Turks and Caicos, New York, Florida. I just got back from British Columbia on the cookbook tour. But if you're around the world, Amazon is probably best. And then just message me to come for a signing to a city near you.
Love it.
I'll come sign it.
Love it. What I love about it is it's brief history on the recipe.
Yeah.
I see here you're talking about Cassareep.
Yeah.
You have recipes for the Plat bread.
I do. Flip the page though, since you mentioned it. Boom.
Oh wow.
That cool, eh?
Oh well, this is probably a guide to see how thick it should look.
There you go, bro. Look at that viscousness.
Oh yeah.
Viscosity, yeah.
Love
So a
it.
whole breakdown of what it is. So there's a lot of
Love
education
it.
and information. It's not just a Guyanese book. It's inspired by my world travels, but I lean heavily into my South Asian, those Desi roots. I just found out not too long ago my great grandfather was born in Kashmir, and I've cooked all over
Wow.
India, Pakistan, etc.
Wow.
So there's a lot of South Asian influence,
Yeah.
a lot in this book. So
Yeah.
it's kind of me showcasing and modernizing East and West Indian.
Yeah, which makes sense for the Caribbean. We have a lot of Asian influence, African influence.
Tons, man.
You know what I
Tons.
mean? We're all one big family, you know that.
100%.
Yeah, there is no you know, you and I.
It don't seem like that in the comments sometimes. Jesus
We're
Christ.
gonna ignore that.
Yeah.
All right, so we covering low roll and boil.
Yeah, we need to reduce the heat here.
Check back in a little
And
while.
we'll check back in a bit, yeah.
Right there, so we finally reach the most important part.
This is the
My
best part of the
favorite
day.
part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So how are we eating this? We need a knife and fork?
In the house that I grew up in, we would take our Plat bread, slice it, and Mom would always toast it with butter, like a natawa kind of thing. But a lot of people eat it untoasted. So we have nice 3/4 inch, 1 inch slices of our Plat bread,
Yeah,
our Guyanese
yeah.
Plat bread.
Oh yeah.
Guyanese Trinidad Plat bread because we're in Trinidad today. So
Yeah.
see, nice and soft.
Yeah.
We want this to absorb all this liquid. We eat it like roti.
Very different to our flat bread.
You're mentioning.
Yeah, but still good, I'm sure.
I had to bring you the real thing, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Oh,
so you'll
yeah.
take this and you're gonna dip it in here. But even before you do that, why don't you just pick up a piece of the meat, dip it in that sauce, and I'll tell you one thing. I mean, we're brothers, right? So I can do this, but I'll always take a wiri pepper and burst it into the liquid, and that fresh wiri pepper adds everything that I want in pepper pot. That's the essence of everything. So
Yeah.
you dip in that area.
Well, it's called pepper pot, right? It's called pepper pot. Which meat should I?
So
should I do oxtail, beef? What
we
should
have a
I
piece
do?
of oxtail. Just
Yeah,
choose your own
we have a piece
adventure,
of
bro.
oxtail.
And also let's talk about the thyme that's here. We
Oh,
have
yeah.
the beautiful orange peel that has cooked down as well. So the orange peel is in here. The cinnamon, the clove, the thyme, the Guyana thyme, married mount pork, the Cassareep. Oh man, that's spicy. It's not supposed to be super spicy, but how's that flavor?
It's not spicy.
No, it's not.
No, it's good.
My thumb was on the pepper, but how's that taste? It's different, right?
You know when you're eating and you don't hear nothing, that's usually a good sign.
And then next thing what I want you to do is you'll take a piece of bread, dip it into this gravy, maybe grab a piece of meat with that, like so. Oh man, and let's just see how tender this meat is, guys. Look at that. Just pulls right apart.
Yeah.
That's actually a nice fatty piece that we have here. Check this out, guys. Oh my mama.
Let me rub in the pepper a little bit.
Yeah, that action. This thing tomorrow would taste better, but bro, I
some
think you're gonna
beef.
taste it and you won't believe that it can actually get better.
Would it last till tomorrow? Is my
Guaranteed.
My
Not
question.
not with this man behind the camera. Not a chance. Then you get all the you crazy,
Bro.
hey? Yeah. That's a real deal. So you got to know how to balance this thing. You have to know how much sugar to balance the Cassareep, how much heat to have in here, and then you have your supporting cast of all your aromatics, your cinnamon, clove, thyme, star anise, etc., orange peel, etc., etc.
So you remember earlier when I smelled the Cassareep?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, this, it smells as if it takes molasses that we traditionally use, brown sugar molasses, to another level.
Yeah.
When you taste this sauce, bro, this is like on a whole other level. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, don't know how else to explain. I mean, yes, you're getting all the earthiness, the cinnamon, the star anise, the clove, the meat, but it's like, it's this perfect marriage.
Right.
Those wiri peppers is like almost like the perfect balance of heat and flavor.
It really is. It's not over the top. And we
Yeah.
were talking about this before, how much I love making pepper pot for someone who's never had it before. Because you and I are well traveled. We eat all over the world. We eat everything in our home countries. But when you try something like this, you've never had anything like it before. It's so unique just to Guyana.
Y'all, I don't eat pepper, and I am, look at me, I'm
Yeah.
rubbing
Yeah, bro.
the sauce in
That
the
is
wiri
the-
pepper.
that is it.
and
That
I
is
do
it.
not eat pepper.
Yeah. Meat's all
This is
tender.
next level.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
And remember we were talking about the cow heel with that lip smacking, unctuous fattiness that kind of coats your mouth with that butteriness. That's really why that cow heel is there. And of course we eat it as well. It's right here. It's all jello-y right now. So you can pick up a piece of that, get into it. We plate with the cinnamon cloves as well.
you
I mean,
almost
I-
don't even need the meat, you know, honestly. Like, you could just dip in this sauce
Man,
only.
Yes, but that sauce is the way that it is with all the runoff from the meat. That's all meat. Remember the fond at the beginning after we seared the meat? All of these layering techniques get us to this end product. The most important thing is patience. Yeah, silence.
Bro.
It's pure silence right now.
Honestly, don't know what to say. No?
Yeah.
Yo, so I could probably, I mean, I'm like I'm lost for words, but you'll need to try this recipe. Like a car is one thing to travel and eat things, but you see, like when you get like this authentic experience. I mean, yes, we not in Guyana making it, but bro,
I brought Guyana to you.
yeah, this is next level.
I'm
and
glad you like.
So thanks so much for coming, making this for us, with allowing me to make it with you, sharing the recipe, and also bringing that cookbook for us because I know persons are going to want to make this, try it. So tell them, how could they get this recipe? How could they try it?
Of course, I mean, first and foremost, always an honor and privilege to collaborate with you guys. Anyone pushing the culture is like, that's really a big thing for me, right? We can't let these things die away with the youth that are coming up. So always trying to connect people to their roots, and that's exactly why I have the cookbook. So this is showcasing and modernizing East and West Indian cuisine. I lean heavily into my South Asian roots, right? Great grandfather born in Kashmir. So I've traveled over India, Pakistan. There's so much fun stuff in here. And pepper pot is in here as well. But not just that. There's so much that you can do with your kids, with your neighbors. Maybe you like a girl or a boy. You cook for them from this recipe, you'll get mad love in return, right? So Amazon is where you can find it. If you're in Canada, US, DM me, email me. Someone from the team will get back to you. Let's get you a signed copy. Wow. And I want to inspire people to surround their table with loved ones and like bring that love back. The world needs it now more than ever. I really mean that. That's why we have mad love.
Food is the best medium to do that.
And even if you don't speak the same language, like I remember cooking in Scotland and Punjabi kitchens and in Pakistan where no one spoke English with me in the kitchen, but we could smile and nod and grab our stomachs when we're eating food. And like it says a million words when you're working with food. So.
Y'all, join me in thanking Devan
Bless you.
for sharing his experience with us, sharing his recipes with us. You need to come back. We need to bring you back here for like a week or so you could make everything in this cookbook.
No, we come back later tonight and cook.
All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed it.